Good afternoon and welcome to my channel. It is the end of November and not much is happening in my collection of plants, and this is one of the reasons I'm not posting any videos lately, but this plant decided to bloom right now at the end of November and of fall, and it is a fascinating plant. It is Stapelia scitula. Okay, this plant that produced this flower belongs to a larger group of plants called Stapeliads, and Stapeliad is a group of plants that belong to the family Asclepiadaceae. Family Asclepiadaceae is huge, but these plants are very, very unusual. This group of plants, Stapeliads, evolved to be succulents, which means they have stems that store water. They are adapted to dry conditions. They dropped their leaves in the process of evolution. So the green parts of the plant are stems. There are no leaves. And they are pollinated by flies. So the flowers they produce are mimicking the color and the smell as well of rotting meat. Isn't it cool? I love plants that have some unusual adaptations, and Stapeliads are really one of the weirdest plants ever. Look at the color and the smell. Well, the flower is quite small, but in summertime when it blooms, there are flies flying around, and flies are attracted to the plant by smell, by the look, and they lay eggs on it, because when that's what flies do. They lay eggs on meat, on something, on animal carcasses, on something that would provide food for their maggots when they hatch from the eggs. And here there is the smell, there is the look, but there is nothing in exchange for the fly, and the fly, while laying eggs on this flower, pollinates the flower. It's very difficult to pollinate Stapeliads artificially, and somehow flies know how to do it. So they pollinate the fly, and they are tricked by the plant because the plant is not rewarding them in any way for that. Okay, I said that Stapeliads belong to the family Asclepiadaceae. Asclepiadaceae have flowers that have 5 petals, and they can be very different. For example, milkweed is an Asclepiadaceae, belongs to that family, Asclepiadaceae, and also Hoya. And here are dead flowers of Hoya, because Hoya grows close to this plant. Okay, so these are dead flowers of Hoya that also belong to the family Asclepiadaceae, and Hoya is also a very fragrant plant. But it doesn't attract flies, it attracts moths. So it has a very sweet smell, very suffocating sometimes, depending on the species, depending on the specimen. I wouldn't say that this is not a bad smell, but it's so dense that when the windows are closed, it can be quite suffocating, the smell of Hoya. But this one, it stinks. This one stinks. Okay, so this is one thing. The other thing is, look at the plant. There is a pot on top of the pot, and here at the back is another plant, Hatiora. And Hatiora is a succulent as well. It's a cactus, and Hatiora grows in the bigger pot. Let me turn it around. Hatiora grows here. Okay. And because I don't have that much space, I put the pot with my Stapelia scitula on top. And now what happened is this Stapelia grew roots that reach. I cannot lift it, because if I lifted it, I would damage the roots. So I'm not lifting it. So this Stapelia grew roots through the opening at the bottom of the pot. It grew roots that penetrate here. I'm not sure how deeply, but that way, I think the amount of water is just enough for the plant to be happy. This pot is quite dry, and this one is not. So I have a feeling that this is what makes the plant happy, that the pot in which, like the two combined pots provide quite a lot of depth. And I think that depth is what makes this plant happy, because look how green it is, look how nicely it grows. Okay, so the water is very deep, and the roots are quite dry until they reach water at the very bottom of the bottom pot. And what happens, the plant is quite successful, quite happy here. Hatiora, on the other hand, is not that happy. Hatiora, on the other hand, is not that happy, but maybe it will be growing. We'll see. Maybe next year, when summer comes, when spring at least comes, I will separate them, and then I will make more light for Hatiora, more room for Hatiora, or I don't know. I will have to do something about it, but the plant is so happy that I don't want to touch it. Look at the flower again. Look at the flower again. I am really fascinated by plants. Well, by all living things, but I am fascinated by the ways living organisms are adapted to where they live. All of us organisms are perfectly adapted. If we were not, we would be extinct already, or whatever is not adapted is just eliminated by the process of evolution. So everything we see is adapted perfectly. However, some of the adaptations are so weird and so interesting that it is just fascinating. That's what it is. Okay, I hope you find it fascinating too. I hope you find this plant beautiful. I love it. I really am happy that it is blooming, and every time it blooms, I'm happy. Okay, and I hope you can see why. Thank you very much for watching my video. Have a great rest of the day.